Hello, Partnering for Vaccine Equity Learning Community members, and welcome to this afternoon's orientation session. I know we've got folks coming in from the waiting room, but I am going to proceed and get started because this session is only 30 minutes, and we do use all of this time to give you an overview of our Partnering for Vaccine Equity, or PAVE for short, learning community. So I am Bridget Courteau. I'm the Director of Group Learning for the Learning Community. And on behalf of your learning community managers that are at the Urban Institute where I work and the CDC Foundation, thank you for joining us for this brief intro to learning what the learning community is all about. We host sessions just like this one on a quarterly basis. The most recent one was in November. So if you have been in a previous orientation session, this will sound familiar to you. Before we go further, I'm going to do just a quick review of how this session will work, some housekeeping items. So you've been muted upon entry to the session. Stay on mute unless you're speaking, please. And we do offer sessions. Typically, our group learning sessions are offered in Spanish. This session is only offered in English, but we have offered live interpretation into Spanish during previous orientation sessions. And again, the material is very similar from one session to the other. And so we have shared the Spanish language recordings of orientation sessions with our PAVE partners on our learning community website. If you're looking for one of those and can't find it on the website, just let us know. We will try to leave time for some Q&A after our presentation, but again, it's a short session. There likely won't be a lot of time at the end, so we encourage you to send us questions as you have them while we go, and use the Q&A tab if you can. That's in the Zoom taskbar at the bottom of your screen. This way, we will make sure you'll be guaranteed that we see it as a question and answer it for you. We encourage you to use the chat room to introduce yourself or share comments, but again, try to post actual questions in the Q&A. And finally, as with all of our learning events, we will post slides and recording of this session on our community website and circulate them through the digests that go out through the CDC Managed Adult Vax Program listserv, which all learning community members should be a part of. If you have technical difficulties at any point during the session, we want to hear about them. We want to try to fix them. So please send an email to our community managers inbox. That's Vax Equity Learning, all one word, @urban.org. So I already introduced myself, and for today's orientation session, I'll be sharing the stage with my group learning teammate and our website's community manager, Luis Gallardo. You're going to hear from him in a little bit. And then also our partner at the CDC Foundation, Laura Durda, who manages the Vaccine Resource Hub team. Here's a quick look at how we're going to spend the rest of our time together. So first, I am going to provide an overview of what the learning community is and what our group learning team does and offers to members. Then I'll hand things over to Laura, who's going to review the Vaccine Resource Hub and how to make the most of this vast repository of tools that you may want to use for your PAVE program. And Luis will wrap up with a brief review of the components of our Learning Community Onboarding Toolkit and a live demo of the Learning Community website's main features. Next slide. And next slide. As learning community managers, our aim is to provide you with space and opportunities to connect with each other and with subject matter experts to share promising practices and strategies that will help you implement your PAVE program activities and achieve your own goals around increasing vaccine coverage in your community. And over the course of our project, we are also documenting what works and building a set of resources to support longer-term efforts to improve vaccine equity. Next slide. We're trying to achieve the objectives that you saw on the previous slide by offering several different types of group learning opportunities to the PAVE-funded organizations. There are three main categories of our group learning activities. Here, you'll see them here. We created and we now manage a website for the learning community. We call it the Community Connector. It's a private site. You need an account to access it. And Luis is going to share a lot more about the website and its features in a bit. So that's all I'm going to say about it right now. We also plan and carry out group learning events, and we coordinate 3 communities of practice. So those two I'm going to go into a little bit more detail on the next few slides. Next slide, please. Starting with our group learning events. So our group learning sessions are virtual events that range from large webinars and panel presentations to smaller group Ask the Expert sessions that are like Q&A sessions, um, to training workshops that are typically kept pretty small and intimate. We offer about 4 events per month on average currently, and they're typically open to all organizations that are in the learning community and others working on vaccine equity. So if we do not have a reason to keep something small or closed, we do not. We want anyone who's working in this sphere or arena to have access to what we're doing. The topics that we prepare events around include addressing misinformation, training trusted messengers, partnering with healthcare providers and others in your community, and the science behind vaccines, and a whole lot more. We offer live interpretation into Spanish at most of our events, and we also record everything. And we share materials from the events that are on our website after the fact, including both English and Spanish recordings, any handouts, any presentation slides. So we realize that our community is diverse. Lots of people may do on-demand viewing in off hours, and we want to make sure you have access to things, even if you can't attend live sessions. Next slide, please. So how can you hear about our events? We promote them through many different pathways to try to reach as many people in the community as we can. We send an email to announce each live event. These are generated by our website and usually come from our teammate, Eric Wengel. So you'll get an email when we first add an event to our calendar, and then usually we send like a same-day reminder for people who may have missed previous reminders that they can still sign up and it's happening today. The exception to this is if you adjust your notification settings to turn off our website emails. And so if you do that, you won't get these announcements. You can also find out about events by regularly checking in on our website's event calendar. You'll see how that works in a second. And also the site's homepage also features an upcoming event, typically with a quick access registration button right there. For those who aren't regularly using the website, don't worry. You can find event information in the weekly newsletters that are sent out by the CDC to the Adult Vax Program listserv. And as you'll see in a bit, we also plug upcoming events live at the end of each group learning session that we do, and we're going to do that today. And we chat the registration link, so you can sign up right there at the end of an event. And finally, for some events that we want to give an extra promotional push, we do occasionally send things out through project officers, technical monitors who might be supporting you from the CDC or from a prime organization, through your prime organization if you're a subrecipient of P4VE funds. Next slide. We coordinate 3 communities of practice, or COPs, we call them for short. These are subgroups of learning community members that serve a common priority population. And they make our large learning community, which encompasses hundreds of orgs, over 500 organizations, and more than 1,000 people. So they make that big group feel a little bit smaller and more intimate. These groups are driven by their PAVE partner members who form the steering committee, set the agendas, and decide what they want to discuss or work on. Our teams help with meeting coordination and whatever else the COPs need. Currently, we have 3 COPs running. They are for African American, African diaspora serving organizations, Hispanic Latinx serving organizations, and organizations serving Asian Americans, Native Americans, Native Hawaiians, Pacific Islanders, and Alaska Native populations. So these groups usually meet as individual COPs on an about monthly basis, and then they get together a few times a year in a joint COP meeting that's focused on a topic that all 3 groups are interested in. If you are interested in joining a COP, you can send an inquiry to our general inbox, which I've already shared, but it's here again, vaxequitylearning@urban.org. And it would be helpful if you did put COP somewhere in your subject line or in your note, because that's a general mailbox. So that way they'll know how to route it. All right. And with that, I'm going to stop talking for a bit and hand things over to Laura. So Laura, take it away to tell us about the Vaccine Resource Hub.
Thank you so much, Bridget, and welcome everyone. My name is Laura. I'm a program officer at the CDC Foundation, and which is the prime partner of the PAVE program. So we built and we maintain the Vaccine Resource Hub, and I'm going to drop the link to the hub here in the chat for you all. Oh, actually, that just went to Luis. So Sorry. Here you go. Um, so we built and maintained a Vaccine Resource Hub. As Bridget explained in the overview, the Vaccine Resource Hub is a public-facing website created as part of the PAVE Learning Community Partnership. So you have the URL now, and the purpose of the Vaccine Resource Hub is really to operate as the public-facing sister site of the Learning Community platform. This website provides resources that are specific, relevant, timely, and all scientifically evaluated. All resources and content are free and easily accessible. And then we've been curating this content to help strengthen your community engagement activities, including trainings or webinars, toolkits, social media graphics, fact sheets, and other helpful resources. Things that you can immediately use or upload to your own social media or use while you're making a flyer, trying to get a quick email blast out. Maybe you do a newsletter. That's what this hub is for, just quickly accessing graphics that you might want to use. Really, however you need or want to get the messages out to your community or your community partners or your staff. We've worked to make the site useful for organizations who do the community-facing work and oftentimes don't have the time or staff to create their own materials, resources, posts, training, that sort of thing. So I wanted to provide a few screenshots to show you, to show how you can operate and navigate the site. So Louise, thank you. Thank you. This one. So this is a screenshot of the homepage, and you'll see some of the most popular features on the Vaccine Resource Hub with the red arrows. Here you can navigate to the Find Resources section, create resources, stories, and you can also change the entire website navigation language from English to Spanish, and you can see that there, and vice versa. So this is super helpful if Spanish is your first language and allows you to navigate the whole thing in Spanish. Next slide, please. So now I'm going to show you the Find Resources section. So when you click Find Resources, you're going to be automatically taken to the Discover page, which provides an overview of the various things you can find and do on the Vaccine Resource Hub. So what can you do? You can browse the trending topics there. You can click on what's new to find what has been added recently. You can click on the talking points to address the latest myths and false information that's circulating in the media about vaccines. And then I also have a link there for, excuse me, for additional resources. This links you to various other external websites. If you can't find what you're looking for whatever reason, it may be useful to check out some other external facing sites that we have listed there. And then we also have a funding opportunities page, which is new. And that just lists some open funding opportunities that may interest organizations trying to do, vaccine equity or health equity work. Next slide, please. So now I'm going to show you the health equity roadmap. This is, you can navigate to it from the Discover page, which we were just on, and then just click the health equity roadmap at the top. This provides an overview of how to incorporate health equity strategies into your program. It also links you to resources on the website that do just that as well. So this roadmap gets a lot of traction, and we're really proud to have this roadmap on the Vaccine Resource Hub. We're actually going to be launching 2 more roadmaps in the coming months as well. Next slide, please. Next is the search feature. So when you move away from the Discover page, you can also go to our search page. And this is where you'll go to explore all the various resources, materials, graphics that are available. Again, you do not need to sign in for this. All the resources are free and accessible to the public. So this screenshot, you can see we have a very robust and comprehensive filter function on the left-hand side there. You can search for materials that prioritize race or ethnicity. You can search by a particular language. We have some that are available in over 50 languages. And then you can also filter by the type or format of the resource that you're looking for, such as like a video or a toolkit, graphic, fact sheet, that kind of thing. In the center of the screen there, you can also see a snippet of each resource and material that comes up from your search. So each little square is a picture of the asset. It provides a description of the asset there in bold font, and then below that is the format type, what race, ethnicity it's prioritizing, and then the languages it's offered in. You'll also see at the top right corner of each square there's like a green banner that says new. When you see that on the square, it means that this resource has been added within the last week. Next slide, please. So this slide shows you the option that's exclusively available for PAVE members like yourselves. So you have the option to log into the Vaccine Resource Hub using the same login information as your learning community login. This is because there are certain features available just for PAVE members, and pointed here or pointed out on this slide is the sign-in button at the top right. Next slide, please. So after you're using your learning community login info to sign in to the Vaccine Resource Hub, you'll notice that it turns to My Vaccine Resource Hub, or My VHR. And this shows you what's available to you under My VHR once you sign in. So you can see as a PAVE member, there's a few options that you can do, like submitting a resource. This is what you may want to do if your organization is creating something that you'd like to have shared across the PAVE network. Maybe you created a flyer for an event where the attendance was awesome, or you created a fact sheet of all the locations where vaccines are available in your area and you want to share it out to a broader network. This is how you can do it and get it uploaded to the resource hub. The next link there is a resource submission guide. And so the process I just kind of talked through for submitting a resource, that guide will help you do it, if you want to come back and review how to do it later. And then we also have a link that says go to the learning community. So again, because the two logins are using the same information, you can actually toggle between both platforms if you'd like. You also have the option to personalize your Vaccine Resource Hub or My Vaccine Resource Hub with saved searches, saved resources, and then you can actually be notified when new assets are uploaded that meet certain search criteria that you're looking for. Next slide, please. We also have an amazing feature coming this month. It's Robbie the chatbot. Robbie will soon be up and running and can help you find what you may be looking for. It'll be like a little chatbot that pops up when you come to the website later on, and it will be able to direct you to a resource that you may be looking for. And I think I have one more slide. Oh yeah, so next steps, jump in, start finding resources for your project needs using the link. And then if you would like, I put my, you can connect with me on the learning community platform as well. So thank you so much. I'll pass it back to the Urban team.
Thank you, Laura and Bridget, for all that helpful information. And thank you all for joining us today. I'll now be talking a little bit more about the learning community and the website. So as we've seen, there are a lot of moving parts within PAVE. So we've created a guide to help us all familiarize ourselves with all the moving parts. So Bridget will be sending a link in the chat, a box link that includes all the onboarding toolkit in a public link, but we also have the resources available in the learning community website, which I will get to during the demonstration. So here we see the general learning community resources that are in the toolkit. On the left, we see the About the Learning Community fact sheet, which just covers information about PAVE partners like organization types, geographic regions, and program activity priorities. And to the right, we see some frequently asked questions documents that cover questions about the website, group learning events, communities of practice, and the Vaccine Resource Hub, which Laura just covered. In this slide, we see two of the fact sheets that are more focused on the learning community themselves. So on the left, we see the two websites fact sheet, which again kind of dives a little bit deeper into the differences between the learning community website and the Vaccine Resource Hub. And to the right is just one example of the several tutorials that are in the toolkit. And these tutorials cover all of the site basics, like how to update your profile picture, how to register for an event, or how to search in the peer directory, and a lot more. Before I dive deep into the live demo, I just want to do a brief overview of the main functions of the site, how to register, and how to get on. So here we just see a screenshot of the homepage, which again, I'll dive deeper into once we start the demo. But each tab that you see here takes you to a different page on the site. So the Connect with Peers tab will take you to the peer directory. The Discuss and Learn tab will take you to the discussion board. The Attend an Event tab will take you to the event calendar where you can register for upcoming events. And the Financial Resources will take you to the Vaccine Resource Hub, which again, Laura just covered. And this is a screenshot of what you'll see when you first register for an account on the website. So once I create your account, you'll receive an email from info@vaccineresourcehub.org. You'll follow the link in the email to then reset your password and hopefully successfully log in. Of course, if you run into any issues or if the link in this email expires, please send us an email at vaxequitylearning@urban.org. And as you can see, it is on the last sentence in the email screenshot. And to learn how to request an account for yourself or any new staff that joins your team, I believe Bridget has the registration link in the chat. And there is also a tutorial and a question in the frequently asked questions document on how to register for an account. And we'll be using this to-do list in the onboarding toolkit to guide the demo. The tasks in the checklist all have tutorials linked to the right-hand side. And we won't be going through each individual tutorial, but we just wanted to show you the different website pages and where you would go to complete these tasks. If you already have an account on the learning community, please feel free to log in and follow along. But if not, we hope you'll take some time to complete these tasks and at your own pace. So I'll go ahead and switch over really quickly to the website. I don't think I saw any questions come in, but if there's anything in the chat, if the rest of the team could take a look.
Just one, and Laura took it on. We got a question about
Awesome.
being denied access to certain parts of the website. And we think that's related to our website, which does have the login requirement. So there are some things you can see without being logged in, like the events pages to register. But to get onto the libraries and a lot of the other things Luis is going to show you, you will see an access denied if you don't log in first. So that might be, hopefully we've answered that appropriately, but you can let us know if you have additional questions based on that answer.
Yes, and as always, if you continue to have these issues, please again, feel free to send us an email at the Vax Equity Learning inbox that we've mentioned a few times now. So this is a test member account that I'm logged into currently. So this is what you'll see when you first sign into the website. Right here to the right is your profile. So you can click on this and update any features of your profile, including your bio, any social links, your profile picture. And this is all just helpful so that if you are using the discussion board, members can kind of put a face to the name. And a lot of this information down here will also be helpful for the peer directory, which I'll get to in a second. But these are all going to be searchable terms. So if you add this information, you can just click add here. People will be able to search you based on any like topics of expertise or interest or languages served in all these fields here. Next, I'll go to the events calendar. So here you'll see the upcoming events tab that Bridget talked about earlier. As you can see, we have two different types of events. So we have our events and partner events that are submitted through the website. And over here to the left, you can register for any of the events that you might be interested in. As you can see, we have a very busy calendar in 2024 already. But when you have a chance, feel free to take a look. And you can always go in the past events tab and take a look at the events that we've done before. If you are interested in advertising your event on the website, please go to the homepage and you can see here, you can share an event that we then in a few days will review and publish on the event calendar. Or if you have an idea for a topic for a learning session, you can also submit a topic here. Next, I'll go ahead and cover the peer directory. So this is our peer directory for the website. So everyone that has an account on the website will be searchable here. See, I've searched Bridget so many times, she's already the first one there. But you can look up by any of these fields. So I just put in Bridget's first name, but you can also do geographic searches. So if you're interested in, well, I guess it won't show up if I have Bridget there, but let's do this first. So as you can see, I can find Bridget that way. But if you're interested in doing any geographic searches, for example, if your organization is doing an event and you are interested, or an in-person event, and you're interested in getting in touch with people in a respective city, you can always do one of these searches and it'll list some of the people that reside or organizations reside in the respective city. Next is the Discuss and Learn tab. So here is where our discussion forum lies in the full community. You can see some of the past posts that have been made here. And you can always dive deeper into some of the ones that from the past few years. And you can also post to this discussion. It's pretty much follows like an email format. You would include a subject line, and then you can attach any videos or pictures as well as text, and you can go ahead and post here. Oh, and you can also add any attachments if you're interested. Next is the community library. So here you can find helpful CDC resources or share your own, whether your organization is having an event or if you have any like fact sheets that you'd like to share. This is where you can upload that. You'll just click create entry, and it's a very similar format to the discussion board. Again, it's just a title and a description, and then you would just click next and post. The next page is the group learning resource library. Here are all the materials that the learning community or the group learning team will post. So these are exclusively for past event materials like slides and video recordings. And we also have some in-review videos, just, well, not yet, but they're basically highlights from the last couple months. And those are done on a regular basis. We just need to upload them here. And we also have some past conference resources as well. So these are all the resources that our team from the group learning team will post. And I believe that's it for now. I did want to show you all our Get Started page that hopefully will be published by the end of this week. I just have to switch over to my account. But this is where you'll find all the onboarding materials that we talked about, as well as a few other resources for when you're first getting started or getting involved with the website.
Thank you, Luis. Okay, we are almost at the end of our time, and we would love for you to complete our satisfaction poll. This is one of our reporting measures as your group learning manager, so we appreciate if you all could stay on just for 1 or 2 more moments. So I am going to launch that.
And Bridget,
so-
real quick, we had a question come in in the chat asking what types of organizations are eligible to be a member.
Sure.
Do you want to answer it?
I'm happy to, Laura, and you can add anything in. So, so the learning community, when it started in 2021, it was limited to organizations that were funded through the Partnering for Vaccine Equity program, which is a blended, several different funding streams coming from the CDC's Immunization Services Division. So several different programs and funding streams kind of comprise the PAVE program overall. And last year, we did add another group of CDC-funded organizations, and that is the 64 state, local, and territorial jurisdictions or immunization programs. And so the community, so that is the second group that's in the community and is considered part of the PAVE learning community. So not PAVE, those may not be PAVE-funded organizations, but are still learning community members and called the immunization programs or the jurisdictions for short. So those are the members of the learning community.
Thank you, Bridget. And I'll just add, Allison, thank you for this question. But the Vaccine Resource Hub is freely accessible. And so feel free to share that site with your community partners, your staff across programs. Really anyone that you think would benefit from using that website, they certainly can. So you don't need to be a member to use the Vaccine Resource Hub, only the learning community platform.
Yep. And that's actually a great segue into our final piece here. So I'm going to chat some links for you, and Luis is going to talk you through these. But our events typically are open to others you don't have to be, PaveFunded.org or an immunization program member. If something is closed, we try to make it super clear, really high up in an event announcement or promotional materials. This is for members of the learning community only. We usually don't promote it very widely in that case. If it's a closed event, but 85% of the things we do are open to everyone. So along the same lines of the VRH, we want, what we do to reach as many people as it can. All right, Luis, I'm going to find my links to chat while you quickly talk through these.
Yeah, sounds good. So these are some of the events that we have coming up this month, but as we saw on the website, we do have events listed on the calendar all the way up until April. But coming up, we have some social media training series. As you can see, we have one on the 13th of February and one on the 5th of March. And we also have our Social Determinants of Health series event coming up later this month. That will be about the intersections between climate and public health. I believe Bridget already sent the links in the chat. So if you are interested, please feel free to register. And once again, thank you all for joining us today. And we hope to see you all at our future learning community sessions.
Thank you. Thanks to everyone who stayed on a little late too. I know we kept you 2 minutes late. Appreciate it and have a good afternoon.